Hey, welcome back to the channel. Well, just like I alluded months and months ago, next project is in the shop. Got a couple weeks to knock this out. Let me show you what I got going on here. Okay, what we have here is my 2007 SureTrac 18-foot open car trailer. I bought this about 4 years ago now, I believe, and it's been a great trailer. Had no issues with it other than the typical wiring stuff, lights going out and whatnot. But the last couple winters of use, taking it on these winter wheeling trips we take it on, has been rough on it. It's got rust everywhere. Um, Hopefully you can see, I'm missing a fender. I had a fender literally rust and fall completely off the trailer. This one here is not in much better shape. So I have big plans for this trailer, and I have about 3 weeks as of right now today until our next winter wheeling trip that I want to use this trailer for. So what do I have planned? Well, first and foremost, I have brand new trailer tires. I don't know how old these are. I've never had a blowout. I've never had a leak. Never had no problems with them, but they are pretty wore. The outside edges of them, they are starting to get kind of bald. So I have a brand new set of tires for it. Gonna get the wheels redone. Gonna get the wheels all powder coated. Get the hubs all cleaned up. I believe what I want to do is I want to do a spring over conversion on this. I want to lift the trailer up. I primarily only use this for the truggy, for off-road trucks. With the dovetail at the back, it's very low to the ground, and I scrape that back edge of the trailer on everything. Anytime you go into a parking lot or whatever, even in my own driveway to get in my backyard, it drags the ground. So I think I'm going to do an axle flip and raise this thing up. Perfect time, because I'm going to cut the fender off. I can reposition the fenders a little bit lower, which will work out really good if I do decide to put my car, my Thunderbird, on it. I probably won't have to worry about having removable fenders, because by raising the trailer, I can lower the fenders closer back down to the tire, which hopefully will give me the clearance I need to open the doors right over top of them. Hopefully. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to change the color of it. There has been a rash lately of stolen trailers in my area. So my logic is, you have a trailer stolen. How do you describe it? Oh, I had a black tandem axle open trailer that was stolen. It looks like a million other ones out there on the road. So I want to make this trailer unique. So my thought process is, if I make this trailer stand out too much, that in itself might be a theft deterrent, that no one will want to risk snatching this because it'll be so easily identifiable. So we're going to paint it. We're going to change the color of it, going to make it stand out, changing the lighting on it, adding some more hold down points to it. Trailer already has a winch, spare tire. I want to fill in. The center of it is all open. Don't like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill that all in with a sheet of expanded metal. So it'll still be open, but it'll be filled in. So I can walk on it, whatever. I can use this trailer for, hauling furniture or whatever else, because right now it's pretty much just a car trailer. You can't really haul much else on it because of that open section in the middle. So I'm going to fill that in. So that'll make this trailer have a lot more uses out of it. But anyway, I have new breakaway box. I have all new wiring, new 7-pin plug, a new junction box. I'm going to blow this thing apart, and hopefully in 3 weeks I can have this thing done and back on the road ready for our next trip. So stay tuned. Let's see if I can make it happen. We have to reposition in the garage here. I have had more room in here than what I thought I would have. So I may turn it a little bit so I can get some more room around it to work on it. I cannot wait. These shin busters are going away. I absolutely hate those things. I literally just smacked my shin on them again today in here. And like I said, this side, the fender has already fallen completely off. And I believe that's illegal, if I'm not mistaken. So right here we have brand new fenders. So let's get her going. Okay, day number 2. Finally got the trailer thawed out and melted. It is middle of January 24 when I'm filming this. I don't know when you're watching this, but anyway, all the ice is melted off. Probably should have cleaned all the mud off the deck after our last trip with it. I've already shoveled off quite a few loads of dirt and stone off this thing. The rest of this is going to have to dry, and I'll just sweep it off. But so far, I've removed the winch, the battery, I got that all off. Started pulling some wiring off. I got this fender cut off. Started grinding down some more of the old welds and some of the rust and whatnot. I'm going to need to get a whole bunch more grinding discs. I went through 3 of them already. It's just eating them up. So I think next thing is going to be, I'm going to pull the 3 bolts out of the bracket, or the leaf springs, and then the middle one for the equalizer. I'm just going to drop both axles clean out of it, and then I'll pull those off to the side so I can start cleaning up the axles, cleaning up the leaf springs. Surprised the axle tube, can't see them, but on the bottom side, the axle tube's got quite a bit of rust on them. I'm hoping once I grind them up, they're not compromised. But so I'll get those off, and then at that point, I think maybe with some help with some friends, I'm going to see if I can stand this thing up on its side so I can get to the undercarriage. Man, it is just so much rust. All the paint is just, I mean, it's just flaking off. Like, it's just sheets of paint coming off because it's rusting underneath. So being this is a metal deck, the whole bottom side of these decks are just rust. Man, I wish I had a way to just have this entire thing sandblasted. That would save me so much time, but I don't know how I don't know where I would take it or how to even get it there at this point. But so it's going to be a lot of grinding for me. So anyway, here it is, day 1. I think I'm about ready to call it quits. For the next week and a half, I have to work every single night. So I'm literally only getting about, I don't know, 2 hours out here a day if I'm lucky to work on this for the next week and a half. So my time is very limited, unfortunately. All right, so back out here today. Today is day, I don't know what it is. It's probably been 5 days since I even been out here. So it's looking more and more like my goal earlier in the video of having this done for our trip in like a week ain't probably going to happen. But I'm still going to do as much as I can. Fortunately, the weather has turned, so if I have to use my enclosed trailer for this trip, I will. But anyway, I've been on a shopping spree, picking up more lights, some paint supplies, primer, hardener, bunch more supplies like grinding discs and stuff like that anyway. So I guess I got the fenders out. I started sanding those. I'm going to rough them up. I'm going to get them coated in some self-etching primer, get the bare metal covered. I got a little marker light I'm going to mount in the fender, and I want to get those done, get them painted, put them aside. So when they're ready to go on, all I got to do is just clean up the spots where I need to weld them on, and then the rest of the fenders are done. I also, on the inside of them, I want to bed liner them, because that's the fenders that were on this rusted out from the inside out, obviously from all just the abrasion from sand, dirt, rocks, whatever. So I want to make sure these new fenders, the inside of them, I want to coat them very thick with bed liner material to help stop that from happening so soon. So let's take a look, see what I got done to the fender so far. So here's the new fenders that I bought. Obviously they've been sitting around for a while. A little bit of surface rust on them. Just took my DA with some 80 grit paper on it. Just kind of went over them. Cleans them up real nice. So I'm going to go ahead. This one is mostly done. This one here, obviously, I still have to do. I bought some little tiny amber LED markers. I'm going to put one in each one. I think that'll look cool. And like I said, I'll get a coat of self-etching primer on this bare metal. Get them protected here for the rest of the process. Okay. Both fenders are now all DA'd down. Wiped them down. First hit them with some brake clean and then finished them off with some wax and grease remover. So I think they're good enough. I'm just painting the top part and then the face of this. I'll wait till that's dry. I put a couple coats on it and I'll flip it over, then I'll do the inside of them. But I won't paint them the final color until they're actually welded on the trailer. So anyway, let's get the primer on it. Okay. Self-etching primer applied. I am going to get the hell out of the garage while this dries. I don't end up with a migraine. And we'll be back in a little bit, see how this turned out, and move on to the next part. I think those turned out pretty good. Just got the top side painted, my hole in there for my marker light. So now I think I'm going to flip them over, prep the inside. I'll get the inside coated with some primer, get them sealed up. And I think that'll be it. I think I won't do the rest of the painting until they're actually welded on. So I got a lot of cleanup on this side. I got to clean up all the old rusted fenders, get all that cleaned up, that all cut off, cleaned up. So yeah, a lot of cutting and grinding today. Let's get after that. All right, I got the fenders flipped over. They have a coat of self-etching primer. I put a coat of regular Rust-Oleum Ford gray engine paint over top of that. And then in these areas here where I think they're going to get blasted by the tires the most, I put a couple thick coats of undercoating on them. I'm going to let all this dry up. And then this is how I'm going to leave them until they get welded back to the trailer. It turned out pretty good though. I got all the drums off, bearings off. Found my one brake issue with this one here. All the other ones appeared to be working. So next is I'm going to cut the wiring and we're going to get these axles out. I'm going to cut the U-bolts off, pull all the axles out, and then start cleaning up the axle tubes and get them ready for the new perches so I can do the spring over conversion. And actually, before I pulled the drums off, I cleaned them all up with my wire wheel and a flap disc. And then I coated them in some rust encapsulator and then some heavy Rust-Oleum. So drums are all good. They look good on the inside, except for the one that wasn't doing anything. It's got a little bit of surface rust on it, but that'll just clean right off the first time the brakes get used. So I'll just go ahead and when I get ready to put it back together, repack all the bearings. I'm going to put new bearing buddies on them too. I got 2 different kinds. I'm going to get a matching set. But so far, so good. Those look good. Okay. So got the axles out of the trailer, cut the U-bolts, pulled them out here. Got a lot of grinding, cleaning up to do on the tubes. There's a lot of rust here. But I'll go ahead and get these cleaned up. And got the new perches. All I got to do is weld new perch on the opposite side of the original ones. That's all I need to do to convert it to spring over. And then I'll go ahead and paint these. Hopefully they won't rust anymore. And then I can finish grinding the rest of this crap on the chassis and get her painted. So good progress. Okay, new perches are on. Tubes are all cleaned up. It looks pretty good compared to that. Ugh. Yeah, I'd say that's a vast improvement. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to degrease this, wipe it down, move it off to the side, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint it and let her set up for 24 hours. All right, axles are painted, backing plates, everything cleaned up really good. I got the leaf springs and the shackles and equalizer, got all that stuff painted. I actually mixed up some of the gray. This was me just attempting to use up the stuff that I had mixed because it already had hardener in it. Got the plates for the U-bolts, painted those. And here is the fenders. So this is that Tractor Supply, I don't know what you call it, Massey gray tractor paint. It's gonna be a pretty close match to the gray on both my trucks. They're close enough. So let these dry up. Got hardener in it. Should be pretty durable. I want to get these painted, then I can go ahead and get the little marker light installed. And then I can route the light, or I'm sorry, the wiring for the light over to the back side of the fender. And then, yeah, I think it's ready to go on after that. So pretty happy so far. Just mix up some paint, and I'm just trying to use it wherever I could. So I did the tongue, did some of the black, some of the gray up here. So that part's done there, but a lot of sanding yet to do. See, I kind of started doing the braces down the middle. I still got to lay underneath this thing and do a lot of sanding and the rest of this stuff. But again, I just sanded what I could get to really quick and used up the paint that I already had mixed up so it didn't go to waste. So yeah, there it is so far. Very happy. There they are. Looking good. Okay. Everything dried overnight. Everything's looking real good. But I think for now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut this video off here. This is probably already 17, 18, 20 minutes long. I'm sure that's more than you want to sit through watching a stupid trailer build. So anyway, we'll pick this up on the next video where we'll get the axles in, get the fenders on. Everything I've done on this side, I still have to do on the others. I'm not going to bore you with all that. So anyway, another random vlog. I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you come back for part 2, see the finished product. I'm pretty happy so far. It's turning out pretty good. So thanks for watching. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and we'll see you on part 2.